Hey, there we go, it's on. All right, awesome. Yeah, so, hi, I'm Tristan, and this is my first video. Obviously. I mean, look, there's nothing behind me. I don't have any fancy walls. I don't have trophies. I'm not the ginger runner, right? I've got a ginger beard, but that's not who I am. I'm not gearist either. Not fancy and white. Just hanging out. But here to talk to you about a gear review. Now, this is something that I've been thinking about doing for a while, talking about doing it for a while. My wife tells me, why don't you do this? You have the equipment, you can film, you have things, you've got buttons, you've got clicking, you've got a pen randomly on the table. And you talk about doing a vlog. You've talked about a vlog. You half started a vlog. You didn't finish the vlog. I Instagram. Let's be honest. It's Twitter for people who don't read. But regardless, I'm here to talk about a shoe today. And that shoe is the New Balance Vazee Summit version 2. Ooh, electric boogaloo. Vazee Summit 2. So why am I doing this review? Well, why am I starting with this shoe of all things? You know, there's a lot of things that I have. I've got hats, I've got other shoes, I've got a jogging stroller I've been thinking about doing a review on forever. So why am I starting with this shoe? Because I like it. It's a comfortable shoe. I do a lot of races, so years ago I got into obstacle course racing. My wife signed me up. I don't know why, maybe she thought I was getting fat. I don't know, she told me I look like a sausage in compression, but I don't know if that's motivation or not. Anyhow, but she got me running. And at first I hated it, and then I began to love it, and I've tried lots of different shoes. I've worn lots of different brands, and I kind of got this on a whim. I wanted something different. I was doing a race in the mountains. I was running in the OCR World Championships up in Toronto, Canada. It was my second time doing it. And I craved something different from what I was running in. So I found them. I like the colorway. The price point is fantastic. I just burped a little bit in my mouth. At $100. And so actually you can find it cheaper than that. I've seen it online for $86. I've seen the version 1s as cheap as $46, but these are the version 2s, and that's what we're here to talk about. So, why do I like this shoe? And why am I here to talk about it? And why have you waited this long? How are you still watching this video? So, let's get into the nitty-gritty on it, and it is pretty dirty. And I hate when people do shoe reviews and the shoe is all pretty and clean and it looks like it's just come out of the box. And maybe it's because they bought 2 pairs or they were sent 2 pairs, or I don't know. I have 1 pair and it's dirty, and it's because I've used it. I've got about 45, 50 miles in it right now. It's been through a lot of mud. It's been on hard packed trails, and living here in Ohio, which is where I am right now, I don't have a lot of variety in trails. In fact, our biggest race is something called the Rocks and Roots, and that's just because that's an adequate description of what the trail is basically made out of. So that's what I run on. But let's get into this, and I think I've said that once already. So what are the features of this? Well, lug-wise, we're looking at about 4mm lugs, which is pretty standard in a lot of shoes. Innovate does a 4mm lug. Icebug does a 4mm lug. Pretty standard. Although, if you take a look, the tread pattern on this is, I don't know, it's not special. It's effective, though. What I've liked about it thus far is that because the lugs are relatively flat, it means that transitioning from concrete to trail or from hard-packed to soft is pretty seamless. I hate it when I feel like I'm running on a pair of soccer cleats. It's not one of my favorite things. Usually you'll notice in some shoe companies that the direction of the lugs actually will change for ascending and descending. You're not really seeing that on these. You're also missing some lugs in the midfoot here, which I think was what made this good for OCR, because this makes it an easy place to grip for rope climbs. And that's predominantly what I really bought this for. Another great feature or two, just since we're on the subject of the bottom of it, is right here in these black spots. This is their rock plate, and that extends actually to about the mid of the shoe right down here. Which when you're running downhill and you're stepping on rocks, or just in general, is a really nice protection to have. There's not many shoes that have it, and even with that said, it's a pretty flexible shoe. I would say that, it flexes, it's more responsive, kind of spring off of it, like springs. but you really don't notice it when you're running. Good ground feel. It's got this TPU overlay that kind of goes all the way around it. You'll see that here, which has been great on really muddy days. It keeps my shoe pretty dry. I really haven't had any issues with it getting wet. The only place really any moisture has managed to get through is right here where the mesh is. Another thing too, while we're at the front of it, is it's got a really nice toe cap, nice and hard. I have a tendency to, is this thing on? Stub my toes a lot. And get turf toe, whatever, and so I found that really nice. Another fun feature too, just to throw it out there, I thought this was cool. On the inside of the tongue here, you can put the date and time of your first mountain run. So I think really this is really geared towards ascending, especially with a 10 millimeter drop. So we're looking at 27 millimeters down to 17 millimeters, which gives you about a 10 millimeter drop, but it really doesn't feel like a 10 millimeter drop. I typically run in a 4 millimeter. It's where I kind of be my sweet spot. 0 is too low. Generally anything bigger than 4 is too high. But the first time I put these on, I would have sworn it was a 4 millimeter drop. So very comfortable as far as drop wise goes. Fit, this uses New Balance's Phantom Fit. The Phantom Fit, don't ask me to explain it. It's what it's called. It fits well. The thing that I do like though is that there's a sock liner in here. So if you take a look here, this sock liner kind of pretty much goes all the way down to right about right there. You see this on a lot of Salomon shoes. It's not something that I typically come across in a shoe that would be appropriate for OCR. As far as draining goes, and I know people are thinking about that with wet and things of that nature, don't know. I haven't jumped in water yet. I haven't had a chance. It's Ohio and it's cold outside. I'm not running through water yet. Screw you. But when I do, I'll let you know how it drains. Yeah, man, I'm just kind of rambling. That tends to be how I talk anyhow. Sole, forgot to mention hydrohesion, which is kind of one of the things where I think it's made a good shoe for OCR. This material grips really well when it's wet, and I'm hoping that once we get the typical Ohio weather, which is not snow, it's slush, I run in a snow cone, that this will perform pretty well outside. Anyhow, rambling aside, that's a really long pause, isn't it? The reason I'm doing this review is because I think this is a quality product. It's a good shoe. I've really enjoyed running and it's fun. The first time I actually ran in these was at OCR World Championships. I hadn't busted them out of the box yet. I hadn't even given them a test run. I literally put them on right before I went to the starting line and ran 15K through horrible mud. It was crap. Like, it was one of the muddiest courses I've ever done. It was very steep. Somewhere I've got a run live video. Maybe I can edit it into this so you can see what it was. My running time was not impressive. All right, it wasn't, but it got done. You know, qualified. That was the important part. But anyhow, I was so impressed with this shoe that I've been compelled to just tell people about it. You know, if you're curious about this shoe, it's great. I typically wear an 11 in most sneakers, and in this I had to go to an 11.5. My Metcons, I typically wear an 11. Nikes, God, they're hit or miss. Adidas, it's a 12 for some reason. I have no idea why. But my Doc Martens, 11s. It's consistent, you know. But that's the hard thing about shoes. Sizing's tricky. I hate buying anything online. I was very fortunate that I didn't have to with these. We have a Roadrunner Sports in town, and I could just pop in and kind of give it a go and see how it was. But all in all, my real impression on this is that I haven't been able to find a shoe as good for the price point. I've had a lot of products that have broken down pretty easily. I ran in Ice Bugs for a while, liked it, but I felt that the insides of the shoes tended to wear out really quick. The insoles did, and they were not very comfortable for long runs. They're good for sprints. This, right out the box, 15K. I'm even planning on doing my first ultra marathon in this, which I will be vlogging about as well. Hopefully, I don't know, maybe, depending on how things go. And and that's going to be a 30K, which it's really not an ultra, but I'm doing a 30K in January, and I intend on wearing these to see how it goes. I know most people will tend to encourage me to do something thicker or heavier, but I'm really not a fan of that. I would love to try Solomon's, but they're just too bloody expensive most days, and I'm not making any revenue from YouTube yet, so ideas? Anywho, that's it. If you like this rant, if you want to know more about this, there are much better reviews online than what I just put you through. But, yeah, why did I do this again? Anywho, this is Tristan with Okami Athletics. If you liked this video, if you made it to the end of this video, I would appreciate it if you liked, comment, give me some feedback. Tell me I suck, tell me I'm great, tell me what I need to work on, tell me my beard is beautiful, because it is beautiful. This is a testament to my patience. It's beautiful. I'm so proud of it. It's great. But I also know I really like these shoes too. So anyhow, tell me what you thought. And I'll be posting more of these in the time to come. In the meantime, you can also follow me on Instagram at Okami_athletics. And you can also follow me on my personal Instagram account, which is at TRChamberlain. And that's with an LIN, where I post photos of what I basically wear every day, because I'm a bit of a narcissist and I like fashion and I've got a thing for denim and boots and shit. So if you want to follow me there, you can. I also will be posting videos under my TR Chamberlain handle as well about fashion, grooming, beard tips, things of that nature. In the meantime, Vazee Summit, whichever you want to call it, New Balance Electric Boogaloo, Electric Boogaloo 2, what? Vazee Summit 2, Electric Boogaloo. There we go, right here. Great trail shoe. Outdoor Magazine, believe it or not, ranked it as one of the best buys for 2017, especially at the price point. So if you want to try something different, if you're looking for an OCR shoe that's not Icebug, Innovate, Salomon, or Reebok, I think this is a really good unintentional OCR shoe. And I guess that's really the point of what I'm talking about, is that finding the right shoe is tricky. Drill some holes in the bottom might be great for training. Anyhow, great OCR shoe. Check it out. Give it a go. If you don't like it, not my problem, your problem. Find a different shoe, and I'll see you next time.